Well, claim jumping became a big deal recently for me, didn't it? I have done a whole bunch of research. I have found out all kinds of stuff that I wish I would have known earlier, but the whole necessity thing. When you're in the need, you tend to really, especially me, when I have to, I really tend to figure things out as opposed to when I'm just sort of noodling around, like looking and stuff. So, what's going on? I guess I should start at the beginning. I'm just going to start at the beginning for anybody that hasn't watched the whole episode. So, I bought I went out to the Opal Hill mine, which was actually called the Kaylee Mae Gem Mine at the time. I recorded a video out there. After I recorded the video, the owner at the time, Jared, contacted me, asked me if I'd be interested in buying it fast. I said yes, and I purchased it after doing some research, and the claim was good. So after I buy the claim, I start getting slandered online by a couple of people and the All-American Mine, and they start claiming that I'm claim jumping and saying all kinds of nasty things about me online. I mean, one of their buddies was on their message board tagging me in posts talking about meth and stuff like that with me, and I mean, that's just ridiculous. I just can't even believe some of the stuff these people actually said. But the reason they were so aggressive is because they really don't have a true claim. And Jared was right. He pretty much beat everybody to the county recorder when everybody was filing their paperwork. Now, the only person that was even close to having an argument with me was not the All-American Mine. Get this. It is the owner of the Spectrum Sunstone Mine and the Himalayan Tourmaline Mine and about 30 other mines around the country, Chris Rose. So Jared, the person I bought the mine from, he had made it to the county recorder's office on 2/24/16, so he made it in February. The next person to make it to the county recorder's office was Chris Rose. He made it March 11th, 2016. All-American, they're way, way back there. They're in September, on September 2nd at the county recorder's office. So, All-American, your claim is no good. Now, as far as it goes with getting to the BLM, there are 3 overlapping claims. The BLM will let anybody make a claim as long as the land is not, oh gosh, I just forgot the word. As long as the land is not owned by the mining company yet. And there's a specific word for it. I will put it in print right here because I can't remember it right now, and that sucks. But, so you can go and make a claim, and the BLM will take your money and file your paperwork. But if somebody wants to sue you, they can definitely have your claim revoked. But the BLM will let you make as many claims as you want as long as it's in the right area, because the BLM doesn't get into claim disputes. They let that be handled inside of a court of law and between the lawyers and stuff like that. So that's the BLM stance on it, and the BLM themselves told me and my wife that they would let people make multiple claims on an area. That it's our job to do the due diligence. So, moving right along. What ended up happening is, in finding all this out, I contacted Chris Rose, and we started going through some negotiations. We were both very headstrong on, we're not going to let the mine go. How are we not going to fight about it? I believe Jared's right. He believes he's right, and he believes he'll beat me in court, and I believe I'll beat him in court, and that's where we were at for a few days. While that was going on, I got a message from the, Department of Land Management, U.S. Department of the Interior, Palm Springs South Coast Field Office, from one of the people that works down there. I'm not going to give his name out because it really doesn't matter. But what I am going to do is I'm going to read his letter and my response to his letter and his response. You guys can get an idea of where the BLM sort of stands on this whole thing. And the fact that the All-American Mine has no right to be selling tours, has no right to be selling tours on that claim. They are the third claimant on the claim, and their claim is way later than everybody else's. Dear Mr. Delanoy, I'll put this right here. It is reported to us that you have set up a crowdsourcing page to raise money to start a mining operation on the site, which has historically been called the Opal Hill Mine in the Mule Mountains, southwest of Blythe, California. On this page and on some YouTube videos posted by Mining America, it is stated that the funds will be used to buy heavy equipment to repair the roadways, remove the old property on the site, conduct other aspects associated with mining. On one of your discussions, you mentioned you were looking into bringing mechanized mining equipment such as a jackhammer. Under Title 43 of the United States Code of Federal Regulations, subchapter blah blah blah, all of these activities are prohibited under casual use mining. This is true. As noted in these regulations, you must seek authorization for these activities first from the BLM. This is true. Conducting such activities before filing acceptable notice or a plan of operations is a prohibited act under 43 CFR blah 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 and may result in enforcement actions under 43 CFR blah 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 and surface disturbance violations under 43 CFR blah blah blah. In addition to the surface disturbance violations, please be aware that all of the material on the site are the property of the previous claimant, not the Kaylee May mine claimant. Removal of these without permission may amount to theft of property and subject to criminal prosecution. It has also been reported that you may have removed items from the site, including other claimants' paperwork and minerals. The removal of or destruction of claim paperwork other than your own is not allowed under federal regulations. If you plan on conducting any activities at this site or on any lands under the jurisdiction of the BLM, I would highly advise you contact me prior at the contact information below. We know there's a bunch of lies in there, don't we? So, needless to say, I contacted him back. Apparently I only have half my email here, but I'm going to read most of it. It didn't print properly, apparently. My response to him was, "Hello, it seems according to your email that you understand I visited the Kaylee May Old Opal Hill claim by invitation from the owner at the time, Jared Taylor. On November 3rd, he sold me his claim. I have never removed anything from that claim except agate authorized by the claim owner at the time. I have never touched anyone else's paperwork, ever. It is my understanding that after purchasing the mine, we have 90 days to put in any of our paperwork with our plans to the BLM. The crowdfunding page only lasts for 60 days, which would give us an idea of what kind of funds we had to work with." And I went on to talk about how Adam had said some threatening things on Facebook, and how I know that Adam and All American Mine had contacted them. I didn't print it out properly. I'm sorry. I also went on to say that according to your email, I've done nothing wrong. Also, the only wrongdoing in your emails are not true, is what I said. So I admitted to what I'd actually done. It's all on video. And I didn't steal anybody's paperwork. I would never do anything like that. You guys have seen my videos. You know what kind of person I am when it comes to that sort of thing. I'm not that guy. So his response to my response was, "Dear Mr. Calico, thank you for your response." That was it. That was the extent of his initial response. About 3 days later, I got another piece of mail from him saying, "I would like to send you a letter with some regulatory information and guidance to inform you as to what your obligations are as a mining claimant. If this is agreeable to you, may I have your address to send it to? Please be aware that the information will only cover your obligations under federal law. You may be subject to additional requirements under rules and regulations of the Surface Mining and Mitigation Act of the State of California. You can find some of their regulations here. Thank you very much. Geologist, BLM, Palm Springs, South Coast Field Office." So, to me, what that sounds like is that my claim is all fine and dandy. He gets where this whole circle of drama was coming from, and his what sounded like threatening sort of email with trying to have me locked up if I ever went down there has sort of dissipated into the ether, because I haven't done anything wrong. Not only have I not done anything wrong, but everything I've done has been just inside of all of the letters of the law, even with the planning of the crowdfunding, the timing of it at least, and how to get paperwork in. I had plenty of time for all of that. So that happened. Now, while that happens, that makes me feel really confident in my claim, but I had already made an agreement with Christopher Rose. Now, I didn't need to make this agreement, but I really felt like this was going to be best for all parties involved, that I would come out smelling like roses, and that two people against one really fake, not real person is going to be a better standpoint than me trying to fight off one wolf and one guy that could possibly beat me. I don't really think he could, but he believes he could, and he's got a lot more knowledge in this game than I do. So, on that note, and I had contacted a lawyer and had checked where everything sat. So, on that note, we made a deal. The check is in the mail. It should get here tomorrow. I have a lifetime of digging rights on that property in contract, so I'll still be able to go out there and dig whenever I want. Chris Rose is now the owner of the Kaylee May gem mine claim and the Opal Hill gem mine claim, which I'll put the paperwork up right here and you can see exactly when everything was dated. So there's really no question over who the owner of that claim is. And if anybody's planning on visiting there, I would not take a tour with the All-American Mining Company. They're probably not going to have much more access to that claim for very much longer. And if they're watching this, I really wish you guys just could have actually acted like adults and sent an email or a message or any other kind of contact than that flagrantly aggressive, abusive, and slanderous BS that you guys posted all over online. Really not cool. I would not do that to somebody, not without actually knowing the whole instances. You guys don't know me and I don't know you, but at least I'm not going to pretend like I do know you. So, on that note, I'm excited. No, I'm actually sort of disappointed, but I learned a lot from this, and Chris has been helping me with finding some other mining spots around the country that are a little bit less known and more recent discoveries. And we've been talking and chatting and working together, so this sort of built a relationship between me and him a little bit. So that's where we stand on that. I'm going to watch this and see if it's any good, and then I'm going to post it online. And I'm sorry I haven't had time to respond to everybody's comments on some of the videos. There's so much stuff going on, and I've had so much of a headache over trying to get the people that helped out with the last dig, their stuff cleaned up and polished and out the door, and this deal with the mine and the negotiations, it just really put a stopper in what I had planned until I knew exactly what we were going to be doing. So I'm going to be shutting down the Indiegogo page as soon as that check gets here, because I do believe him, but at the same time, until it's cashed, I'm not 100% I've sold anything. So here I should be stopping the Indiegogo page soon. Thank you everybody that supported it. Everybody's going to be getting refunds, and I do plan on a trip back to that area to do some more recording this winter, and I'm going to tell you guys when I'm going to be there, and if anybody lives in the area, you can plan and come on and meet me and hang out too. So if you're going to meet me to dig for fire agate though, there is going to be a small fee, because it's not my mine anymore, but I am going to be hosting a little digging party up there, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to get a percentage of what you guys pay. So I'm just going to tell you that right now. So if I'm going to have a digging party anywhere where I'm trying to invite a whole bunch of people there, I'm going to try and get a discount for my people, and at the same time I'm going to try and keep a little bit for my pocket, because that's just smart. So I need to turn this into a business. I ain't really making no money yet, but it sure is great fun, huh? Alright, this is one really long shot. I don't know how much editing I got to do, but I need to get out in front of this camera.